Sharpshooter, huh? The captain said, loud enough for the whole squad to hear. The only thing sharp about you is your tongue, Navarro. A few men laughed. Elise didn't flinch. She stood at attention, same as the rest. Rifle across her back, eyes straight ahead. Her boots were clean, her uniform tight. But none of that mattered. She was the only woman in the unit, and no matter how still she stood, they all looked at her like she didn't belong. The captain walked a slow circle around her, voice dripping with doubt. I need killers, he said. Not someone who'll freeze the second things get loud. You want to make it out there, you better stop pretending you're one of us. Still, she said nothing. And maybe that's what rattled him most. How she didn't blink, didn't argue, didn't crack. 4 weeks later, they were trapped, cut off by high ground and enemy fire. The machine gun was chewing up the dirt 5 feet ahead. They couldn't move, couldn't even breathe without risking a hit. Then, one shot. The gun fell silent. Who the hell? The captain started, eyes scanning. Another shot. A sniper on the far ridge dropped cold. That's when he saw her, lying flat in the brush, calm, focused, pulling the bolt back smooth as breath. Corporal Elise Navarro. The one he mocked. The one he never trusted. Now the only one keeping them alive. And for the first time in his career, the captain shut up. Boots hit the dirt in neat rows as the captain walked in, hands behind his back, eyes scanning like a hawk. The air tightened. Soldiers straightened. No one dared move. Then, just a second too late, Elise stepped in. She was still adjusting the strap on her rifle, eyes calm, walking like she didn't feel the weight of every stare landing on her. But they stared, hard. The captain was mid-sentence, barking at 2 skinny soldiers who hadn't folded their sleeves right. Slackers like you two don't make it home, he snapped. Then he turned and froze. His brows lifted, just for a second, then dropped into a scowl. What the hell is this? He said, walking toward her. What's a goddamn cook doing in my unit? The squad chuckled behind their hands. One guy actually snorted. Elise didn't smile, didn't blink, just stood tall. A voice from the back chimed in mid-laugh. Probably got lost on her way to the mess hall. That soldier didn't get to finish. Another man, a tall one with a scar down his neck, cut him off. And you probably got lost trying to grow a backbone, he said flatly, never looking at the guy. The laughter died. The captain looked back and forth, still frowning. You think this is a daycare? He snapped. I don't care who signed your paperwork, sweetheart. Don't slow my squad down. You get 1 shot. Screw it up, and I'll have you reassigned so fast your boots won't touch the floor. He didn't wait for a response. He turned on his heel and marched off. Elise took her place at the back of the line, didn't say a word. A few soldiers whispered. One tried to meet her eye, then looked away. Someone else muttered, let's see how long she lasts. Later that evening, when the sun started to dip behind the tents, she found a quiet patch of dirt, lay on her belly, and cleaned her rifle until the steel caught the last light of the day. She didn't speak. She didn't need to. It was sniper qualification day, the real one. 6 hidden targets, a time limit, and no room for mistakes. A failed shot here didn't mean death, but it meant shame and reassignment if you were unlucky. The instructors explained the rules again. The captain didn't even look in Elise's direction, not once. 5 minutes. 6 confirmed hostiles. No friendlies hit. Clear? A few soldiers nodded lazily. Some looked nervous. Then it was Elise's turn. She stepped forward without saying a word, laid flat behind the first barrier, looked through her scope. The buzzer rang. Her first shot dropped the target like it had never been standing. She moved fast, but not in a hurry, just calm, sure. The second target went down with 1 smooth squeeze. The guys behind her stopped laughing. Third shot, a clean hit to the chest. Fourth, straight through the window. Fifth, just a breath between aim and impact. She paused. Most would have ended there, but Elise scanned the back of the fake village again, deeper this time. And then she saw it. A bonus target tucked behind some crates, nearly hidden in shadow. She adjusted, took her time. One last shot. It was perfect. The buzzer rang. She stood up. 4 minutes, 19 seconds, no misses, one extra. She walked back toward the others. No swagger, just steady steps. No one said a word at first. Then a quiet voice behind her. Damn, that was perfect. The captain scribbled something on the clipboard. So you can follow orders, huh? He muttered. We'll see if you can follow them under fire. She didn't smile. She just kept walking. While most of the unit hit their bunks after lights out, Elise stayed awake, quiet, still. She'd sit cross-legged on the floor, rifle in her lap, the pieces spread out like puzzle parts. Every night she cleaned it the same way. Slow, careful, like the rifle was the only thing that listened. She didn't talk much, didn't hang around the others. Some thought she was cold, others just didn't notice her at all. But she was watching, always watching. She made notes in a small, torn notebook, tiny sketches of enemy movement, timing of patrols, little things most soldiers missed. No one asked what she was writing. No one cared. Until things started making sense. One night, during a briefing, she quietly mentioned a pattern in the enemy's rotation. The captain brushed it off, but an older shooter named Torres didn't. After that, Torres started glancing her way during drills. He'd see her eyes locked on a distant ridge while everyone else was bored or half asleep. He never said anything, just nodded to himself, like he was starting to get it. And Elise? She just kept doing what she always did. Clean her rifle, study the wind, learn the field. She didn't need to be loud. Her aim would do the talking soon enough. The orders came on a cold morning, just after breakfast. No speeches, no ceremony. Pack up, move out, wheels roll in 30. Just like that. They were headed to the front. The ride there was too quiet. Soldiers who used to joke over meals now sat with eyes on the floor. Elise rode near the back of the truck, rifle on her lap, helmet loose in her hands. Bear, the unit's old radio guy, tapped his knee the whole ride. Even Torres looked stiff. They arrived at the valley late afternoon. Dust in the air, hills on both sides. The kind of place that made everyone's skin crawl. Then came the sound. One unexpected shot. A man in front dropped hard. Didn't even cry out. That's when it started. Gunfire exploded from the ridge. Dirt flew. Soldiers dove for cover. Some too slow, some screaming. Their captain shouted something, but no one could make it out. The whole unit was pinned in the open, bullets snapping past heads. Elise didn't panic. She dropped low, calm as ever, eyes already scanning. Up on the ridge, she saw the first shooter, then another, over 300 meters out, maybe more. She didn't think twice. One steady breath. Her first shot sent him tumbling. The second tried to duck behind a rock. She fired again, hit him clean. Down below, 2 soldiers were trapped. One was bleeding bad, the other just frozen, wide-eyed and useless. She crawled to a better spot, laid down cover fire, sharp, tight shots that kept heads low, then waved the 2 soldiers back. They made it to the ditch alive. When the smoke cleared, the unit moved on. No one said anything to her. No nods, no thanks. Just boots crunching through the dirt like nothing surprising ever happened. The next few days were rough. Rain turned the dirt into thick mud. Sleep came in short bursts between guard shifts and distant shell fire. The men were tired, hungry, jumpy. But Elise stayed sharp. She kept her rifle clean, her mind clearer. Never spoke unless she had to. Most still avoided her. Not out of hate, just habit. She was different. Quiet. Alone. Then came the morning patrol. They were moving through broken farmland. Low brush, open fields, nothing but bad cover and bad gut feelings. The squad spread out, rifles up, boots sinking in the wet ground. The captain raised his hand. Everyone stopped. That's when Elise saw him. Far off, just barely in view. A shadow between the trees. Too smooth, too slow to be a farmer. He had a radio, a map, Definitely an enemy scout. He hadn't seen them yet. Elise didn't wait. She dropped to one knee, adjusted her scope, and fired. The shot hit so fast the others didn't even see the target before he fell. Torres stepped up beside her, looked through his binocs, then let out a low whistle. That guy was about to give us away. The captain came over, saw the scout on the ground, and gave a short nod. No insults, no damn cook jokes. Just a nod. "Nice eyes," he said. That was all. But it was enough to show the captain was wrong about her. From then on, nobody asked why Elise was there. They now knew. They never asked why she became a sniper. No one ever does. But late one night, during a long watch shift, Torres leaned over and asked her where she learned to shoot like that. She didn't look at him, just kept her eyes on the hill. "My dad had a farm," she said. "We had a wolf problem." Torres chuckled. "Let me guess. You got the first one?" She didn't laugh. "I got the one that killed our dog." Then she went quiet again. The next day, they were sent on a recon mission. Simple on paper. Find an enemy post near the edge of the woods. Mark it. Get out. But nothing about it went simple. Halfway there, they were spotted. Gunfire rained down from the trees and the ridge above. The unit scattered, taking cover behind logs, rocks, anything they could find. One guy took a round to the leg and screamed out. Another lost his helmet trying to crawl back. They were stuck, pinned in the open. The captain ducked behind a stump, radio crackling with static. "We're boxed in," someone said. "There's no way out." But Elise was already moving. She scanned the area, saw an old watchtower at the edge of the ridge. Tall, rusted, half broken, but still standing. She didn't ask. She ran. Bullets kicked up dirt around her boots. A round snapped past her ear. She kept going. Climbed the ladder, one rung at a time, chest tight, hands raw. She reached the top, dropped to her belly, scoped in. 3 shots. That's all it took. One in the nest, one near the trees, one behind the ridge. Each hit clean. The gunfire stopped. Down below, the squad lifted their heads. The captain's radio buzzed. He pressed the button, voice low. "Nice shots, Corporal." It was the first time he'd ever identified her by her rank. Again, Elise didn't smile. She just climbed down. Quiet, just like always. But the squad looked at her differently now. Even Torres didn't have a joke to tell this time. Things did change after that mission at the tower. No one said it out loud, but they started moving differently around her. During morning patrols, someone always made space near the front, not by order, just habit. When they set up camp, her post was never questioned. She picked the spots now. No one argued. Even the captain stopped barking at her. Once, when the squad was split into 2 fire teams, he looked up from the map and said, "Corporal, you take the second team." No joke, no glare, just the trust. She nodded. That was all. They'd been deep behind the lines for days now, tracking a supply route. Tired, running light on food. Everyone was on edge. They were days deep into the field now, tired, soaked, and running on ration dust. A supply route had gone cold, and they were sent to check it. The captain moved ahead with his map, eyes forward. Elise walked toward the rear, scanning as she always did, listening to the wind like it might give her a warning. She looked to the far ridge, a flick of light, glass, an enemy sniper aiming right at the captain. She dropped to one knee, breathed in, and fired once. The sniper dropped before anyone else saw him. The captain froze mid-step. The enemy's bullet, if it had flown, would have met his foot or worse. He turned, slowly, locking eyes with her across the slope. However, his mouth just couldn't move to let out appreciative words. The mission was over. No words, no cheers, just tired steps and the weight of what they'd seen. Elise walked ahead of them now. Not because she asked to, but because that's how it happened. One by one, the others began falling behind her, letting her lead the way back through the trees. She didn't say much. Never did. Her rifle stayed slung over her shoulder, her eyes sweeping the path like they always had, but there was something different now. Something in how the others moved like the ground felt steadier with her up front. Torres followed right behind, boots sinking where hers had just lifted. The captain kept a few paces back, hands resting on his vest, face unreadable. They were back at base a few days later. Mud still clung to their boots. The dust hadn't left their gear, but something had shifted. At weapons check-in, the quartermaster reached for her rifle like he always did. "Name?" he muttered. She gave it. He paused, looked her up and down, then glanced at the tag on her rifle. "You're the sniper from Ridge 9, right?" She nodded. He didn't say anything else, just gave a low whistle and leaned back. "You keep it," he said, pushing the rifle back to her. "That's not just a rifle anymore." She took it without a word, slung it over her shoulder. On her way out, a group of new recruits passed by, young, clean, full of noise. One of them glanced her way, confused. "Wait, that's a sniper?" he whispered to his buddy. "She doesn't even look like." The captain stepped out from the side and cut him off. "She looks like someone you'll owe your life to one day." The boy fell quiet. Elise didn't stop, didn't turn. She just walked on, steady, rifle on her back, and nothing left to prove. She never asked for praise, never needed a spotlight. She just showed up, day after day, quiet, focused, ready. They mocked her when she walked in, called her names, laughed behind her back. But in the end, they followed her out. Corporal Elise Navarro didn't win them over with words. She did it with silence.
If you were touched by this story, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and join us in sharing good stories that matter. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next story.